In this video, we're going to look at straight line graphs. You need to know that the equation of a straight line graph comes normally in this form: y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient of the line, so it represents the steepness, and c is the y-intercept, so this is where the line crosses the y-axis. Let's have a look at some examples. Okay, plotting a straight line graph is one of the main skills that you need to have. So the equation of this line is y equals 2x take away 5. Okay, and we need to get some coordinates of some points that lie on this line to be able to draw the line. Okay, so I'm going to use the values of x from -2 to 3. Okay, now we're going to use substitution to work it out. So every time, okay, I see x, I'm going to put those values from the table. Okay, so for the first value, okay, which is -2, I'm going to do 2 times -2, because that's the first value in the table, take away 5, okay? And I need to now calculate this. 2 times -2 is -4, and then take away 5. Remember that when you multiply one positive number and one negative number, the answer is negative. Now, -4 take away 5 is -9. Okay, that's -9, so I can put it into my table. The next value of x is -1, so I'm going to calculate 2 times -1 this time, take away 5. 2 times -1 is -2, take away 5, that is -7. Okay, I could put it into the table. The next value is 0, so that's 2 times 0, take away 5. 2 times 0 is 0, take away 5, that is -5. The next value is 1. 2 times 1, take away 5. 2 times 1 is 2, take away 5, that is -3. Okay, you probably have spotted a pattern in the y values already. We have -9, -7, -5, -3. You can probably now predict what the next two values are going to be, but let's calculate. You need to show you working. So 2 times 2 take away 5 equals 4, take away 5, that is -1. And then 2 times 3 take away 5, which is 6, take away 5 equals 1. So as you can see, okay, we've used the values of x from the table and our equation, so we substituted the values of x into the equation, and we calculated the values of y. So now I can use those values and plot them, okay, as coordinates on the graph. So the first coordinate is this, -2, -9. Remember that the first coordinate that you use when you plot is the x coordinate. So -2, this is the x coordinate, and -9, so that's going to be right here. Okay, then -1, -7, -1, -7 right here, then 0, -5, 1, -3, 2, -1, and 3, 1. And as you can see, the points are lining up, okay, and all you need to do now is just join them with a straight line. Okay, you need to use a ruler when you do this. It needs to be accurate. Okay, so that's the line. Okay, now as you can see, my line is a bit longer than just I didn't just join the points. The line is a bit longer because it keeps going and going. Okay, it doesn't end where your points are. Also, a little tip. If, for example, you start plotting your points, okay, and let's say instead of this one here, when you plot 1 -3, you made a mistake and it's right here. Now, if you can see that one point is kind of off, it doesn't fit into your pattern. Okay, it's not lining up. That's probably a mistake. So you need to go back and double check your calculations, because this is not a correct point. Okay, so this probably would be a mistake. So when you get a point that doesn't really fit on the line, please don't join it into a wiggly zigzaggy line, because that's probably a mistake. Okay, in this example we've got minus 2x plus 3. Okay, so I'm going to substitute the values from my table into the equation. So that's minus 2 times minus 2, this is my first value of x, then add 3. Then minus 2 times minus 1, this is the next value of x from the table, then minus 2 times 0, add 3, then minus 2 times 1, add 3, minus 2 times 2, add 3, and minus 2 times 3, add 3. Okay, so I have used the values from the table and I substitute them into the equation. Okay, now I need to get the answers. Okay, so I need to calculate. Minus 2 times minus 2 is positive 4. Okay, please don't get confused. Remember that when you multiply two negative numbers, the answer is positive. And then 4 plus 3 is 7. Minus 2 times minus 1 is positive 2. Add 3 is 5. Minus 2 times 0 is 0. Add 3 is 3. Minus 2 times 1, minus 2. Add 3, 1. Minus 2 times 2, negative 4. Add 3 is negative 1. Okay, now notice that when you multiply one negative number, one positive number, the answer is negative. And minus 2 times 3 is minus 6, add 3, that is minus 3. Okay, so these are the y values that we can now, that's minus 1 and minus 3. Okay, so we can now plot them onto our graph. Okay, this is the first coordinate that I want to plot. Minus 2, 7. Minus 2, 7 goes right here. Minus 1, 5 is the next one. Right here. 0, 3, 1, 1, 2, minus 1, 3, minus 3. Okay, so again, you can see that the points are lining up nicely. Okay, and now you need to just join them with a straight line. Okay, and that's it. Okay, now another skill that you need to have is being able to write the equation from the graph. Okay, now remember the equation comes in the form y equals mx plus c, where m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. Okay, so let's have a look at the first graph, the one on the left. Okay, I need to find the gradient of this line. Okay, so I'm going to use a little triangle like this. Okay, and I'm going to work out the change in y and the change in x, because remember, to work out the gradient, you need to divide change in y by change in x, or in other words, work out how many units you need to go up and down for every unit you go across. Okay, so here I go 1 unit across, and then I need to go 3 down. That means that the gradient is negative 3. So straight away, I know that it's going to be y equals minus 3x, and I still need to find the gradient. Okay, the gradient is the point where the line crosses the y-axis. So that's this point here. Okay, it's positive 2, so that's add 2. Okay, this is the gradient. Okay, let's have a look at the other example. Okay, I'm going to again draw myself a little triangle. That's 1 unit across and then 2 up. So that means that the gradient is 2. So that's y equals 2x. And now I need to find the y-intercept. Okay, the y-intercept right here, this is where the line crosses the y-axis, and it's positive 4. So it's add 4. So the equation is y equals 2x at 4. And it's as simple as that. Okay, let's have a look at 2 more examples. When we don't have a diagonal line, we have a horizontal or a vertical line, okay? And those can be a little bit confusing. Now, when you look at the first line, this line crosses the y-axis at 4. And when you think about this, this line, every point on this line has the value of y equal to 4. Okay, so the best way to describe this line is y equals 4. Okay, now the reason why sometimes it's a little bit confusing is because this line is parallel to the x-axis, and that's why sometimes students think that it's going to be x equals 4, but it's actually y equals 4. It goes through the y-axis, okay, so it's y equals to 4. Now the one on the right, okay, it's a vertical line and it crosses the x-axis at 2. Okay, and when you think about it, the value of x of every point on this line, whether it's here or here or here, the value of x of every point on this line is -2. So the best way to describe this line is x equals -2. Okay, and that's it.